time it is for you right now. Right here, it's 9 o'clock. It's the 25th of April, and we've taken a little time out yesterday. Our first day off. A little bit under the weather, but come just about good to go today. So let's chill the tunes out. Thank you, Young Carts. All right. So we are still trying to get our cutscenes in a working state. We're trying to recreate this cutscene that Steph set up for us. So we're going to try and put it together today. So we'll have a little bit of fun with this, and we'll start off by recording some audio. I don't know if we've got any recordings yet. Always the day today, casting day today from Steph. There does seem to be some extra folders here in the casting folder, but I don't see. Oh my goodness, there's a news recording. Oh, I want to have a listen, but maybe that would be naughty. Wow, okay, there's quite a few recordings here. Wow, I've got this little sneaky peek, just a sneaky peek. Let's have a little listen. Wendy Winters. I don't know who's this is, but I'll just have a quick listen. Oh, it's a little bit quiet. Hold on, let's turn that up a bit. Hold on, let me get this up a bit. Let's see, volume mixer, please. That's a Chrome volume. There we go. Right.
He says that. I'm actually terrified.
That's it. There we go.
Torna Mitchell reading Wendy Winters. Playful.
Still super quiet, isn't it?
Don't be silly, Rick. It's playing already. Come on, be serious. You've got the script right there. He says that. I'm actually terrified. The first woman to ever give birth on another world. They say the low gravity will help, and we've got the best medical team the planet's ever seen with us. It took a while, but we finally settled on a name we both liked. World, meet the bump that next month will become Jovian Winters.
Right, I better not spoil it too much for myself, but yeah, I like that. Obviously, it sounds like whoever's reading it out is reading it out. I think one of the tricks to getting a smooth voice act is to memorize that script so you can say it. Or, you know, I think it's a whole different game. Being able to read it as it should be said. That's tricky stuff. But yeah, awesome. I like it. It sounds like it matches the character. It sounds quite good. So, oh my goodness, I can't wait to hear what Steph comes up with. Right, anyway, so that was me cheating. Maybe Steph will get in touch later today. But in the meantime, let's get that. See if I can find it. Here it is. Right. Let's get this up. Okay, so I'm just going to put these voices on myself, and we'll have a little go at this. So let's get Audacity up. Okay. Now, I think the only way we can do this is these need to be broken up into chunks. So when something's said, we can't have a huge long piece of text. Or maybe we can. Maybe we could have like a 20-minute piece of audio and have all the text shown for that audio. But then how do we time it? No, I think you have to break these up into chunks when you're recording, and then have to say play the text, wait till the audio is finished playing, show the next text, wait till the audio is finished playing. So let's kill the tunes for a sec, and we'll just I'll just record some stupid voice acting. Here we go. Right. It's nearly time, Jove. He's waiting. Wait, I've got a voice recording thingy. What's it called? Voice mod. Will that work? Romantic Paris. Can you hear me? Doesn't sound very romantic. Hamsters. Yeah. No, I don't think that's going to be a very useful tool for this. And we'll just pitch my audio up a bit, right? It's nearly time, Jove. He's waiting. Nice. I think that sounds pretty feminine for me. So, okay. So what do? We always, you know what? I'm going to do each line and come back to it. So, I know, but it'll be, gosh, I'm no good at this. I know, but it'll be, so I don't want to see him. I know, but it'll be nearly a decade until you have this chance again. Okay. I know, but it'll be nearly a decade. Oh, God. I can't. That's like a tongue twister. I know, but it'll be nearly a decade until you get this chance again. He's waiting. I know, but it'll be... Oh, God. I'm don't sound like Myra anymore there, do I? Maybe I need to just say them all at once. Right, let's try it. Here we go. Oh, Jesus. It's cringy, I know. Super cringe. It's nearly time, Jove. He's waiting. I know, but it'll be nearly a decade until you have this chance again. You know that's not true. He's doing it for us, for all of us. You know he won't listen. Anyway, there's not much time. Your dad wants to see you. Right, there we go. So, that's all Myra's. So now I can select all that audio and I can change the pitch a bit. All right. So, it's nearly time, Jove. Wrong way. How do we go up? That's minus 50. So I want to go, let's go 22.
It's nearly time, Jove. It's nearly time, Jove.
It just needs to let a little bit, right?
It's nearly time, Jove. He's waiting.
Just a touch more.
It's nearly time, Jove. He's waiting.
That'll do. Right, okay. So, high quality pitch change.
It's nearly time, Jove. He's waiting.
Perfect. Okay. So, we're going to convert all that to, how do we do it again? Is it here? Split track. I don't want to split it. I want to set it to mono. Effect. Where is it again? I've done this so many times now. There it is. Mix to mono. Super. And now we need to cut this up and export it as OGG. Zoom in a bit.
It's nearly...
Good. I don't know whether... You know what? I don't want to play too much with this because it doesn't really matter too much. So export as OGG. Right. So this is narration. So that's probably the right thing. So we'll call it cutscene 1. I wonder if we can like... I wonder if we could just like set the order of the files, just let it play. But that'd be a bit annoying. Well, let's try this anyway. Cutscene 1. I think that's what it's called. We need some sort of IDs for these cutscenes, yeah. Cutscene 1, Myra 1. Okay. So cutscene 1, Myra 1. So that's probably the sort of thing we want to do. Center it. And oops. So this should be Myra 2, Myra 3. So that's Myra 3A. And that's Myra 3B. And that's Myra 4. Right. Super. Now, wait a minute. It's a cutscene, but that's not a cutscene, right? Cutscene wouldn't have interaction. So I kind of like that, though. It's like an introduction to the multiple choice. Anyway, we could do either. We still haven't hooked up any audio to our dialogue system. That's another thing we need to do. Is that on the list? Our list is getting huge. You need an inventory as well. Exit. Yeah, we should probably do that at some point. Narration plays, drop audio volume for background, yeah, rename audio transition. I think I did that, right? I definitely did that. And I think I've done that as well. Move an object, delete an exit, change the background. Really done that yet. Talk to a character. Yep, got that. Oh wow, we've got quite a few of these done actually. Move an object, change the background image audio. We've done the audio. Yeah, we've done all that as well. Delete an exit. That would be hiding an exit. I mean, technically, all that's done, although we do need some sort of object. But in terms of triggers, yeah, got all those. Save load, just a place to start logging buglets. Import diagrams to repository, I need to do that. Link message box to our own box. Link test different characters, implement a system for playing audio files. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so cool. All right. So this is going to be cutscene 1, Jove 1.ogg. Then this will be Jove 2A. And then Jove 2B. That's it. Right, okay, cool. Now, chilling silence and footsteps on metal. A woman's voice. All right, so let's get a background as well. So we wanted that we're going to get that Jupiter noise, yeah? Jupiter audio. NASA. Here it is. So we're going to get YouTube to MP3. Throw that in there. I don't rightly care. Invalid argument. Let's try a different one. Let's go for this one. Yeesh. Oh my god. It's a big one. Well, we're waiting for that. Let's cut the rest of this up. So.
It's nearly time, Jove. He's waiting.
Okay, we just did that one, right? So. Next one's this.
I know, but it'll be nearly a decade until you have this chance again. I
Whoa.
know.
What have I done?
It's nearly time, Jove. He's waiting.
That's the one I just recorded.
I know, but it'll be nearly a decade until you have this chance again.
Okay, so export that. OGG. Let's cut scene 1, Myra 2. And then this one.
You know that's not true. He's doing it for us, for all of us.
It's the cheese. Right. I'm sure if it's voice acted better, it'd be better. So this is Myra 2, Myra 3A. And then this one.
You know he won't listen. You know he won't listen.
Export that. OGG. That's Myra 3B. Okay.
Anyway, there's not much time. Your dad wants to see you.
All right. So that is Myra 4. Save. All right, let's do Jove. All right. Oh, we've got that audio downloading. Maybe. Yeah. 93 megs. Shouldn't take too long. All right, Jove. Here we go. I don't want to see him. Wait a minute. I'm doing Darth Vader here. Let's try again. Wait, he's supposed to be 15 years old, isn't he? I don't want to see him. I can't do different voices. I'm not good at this. That's his choice. And can't you ask him to stay? That's it. All right. I don't want to see him. Number 1. Oh, okay. So we want to change all this to mix down to mono, and that's fine. Leave it as that. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him. That's Jove 1. So cutscene. Jove 1. It'd be better to have indicate some sort of order in which the audio is said rather than just 1 and 2 and so on. But export GG. So this is Jove 2A. Can't you ask him? Can't you? And can't you ask him to stay? Oops. File, export, GG. That's cutscene Jove 2B. All right. Super duper. No. All right. Okay, let's do our background audio. So, what have we got? Jupiter dominates the velvet sky, chilling silence. Right. Okay, so we've got this MP3 I'm going to pull in. Okay. All right. So we'll listen to that. Some sexy noises. Fades in as well. Okay, so we've got 3 things here, right? We've got background audio, we've got sound effects, which will be the footsteps, and then we've got the narration. So we're going to use all three of our pre-set up channels here. I'm going to have to create methods for playing all these and queuing them against each other. So, how long do we want this to go on for? What would be good is to set up some kind of loop here, but it's so... what's the word? It's very... I don't know what the word is. It changes. You can see the waveform's totally different from one place to the next. Amazing. So yeah, we probably just have to like make a 3-minute version, and then have a little area where it sort of goes and loops really quickly. Can we just... what happens if you play it backwards? Let's just try this. So if I copy that, create a new bit, you do this with graphics, right? So maybe it works with audio as well. I don't know. So rewind, zoom in a bit. Oh, okay, that's quite big. Okay, so I want to copy the whole thing. Then at the end here, I want to paste it again, but then I want to reverse it. Effect, reverse. So that way, it will map exactly onto this bit here, right? Let's see if we can hear that, the click on that bit. That's perfect. And let's see if we can hear the loop. To turn on loop, where is it again? We did this before. Where is it? Somewhere really obvious. Is it part of the play button? Oh, shift space. Why didn't we? What's this bit here? Okay. Shift. Play. There we go. Oh my god. I've just figured out how to do... probably everyone already knows how to do that, but so there you go. So that's how you loop up background audio, something like that. You copy a segment of the sound, and I suppose it only works with sounds that sound normal played forwards, right? Because, I mean, played backwards, because this sound doesn't seem to sound any different forwards or backwards. Then have paste it in again, reverse it, and voila. Absolutely no difference forward or backwards. Beautiful. So let's file save. We're going to turn that into a mono. Oh, it really loses something, doesn't it? Can we have a... oh yeah, we can have stereo OGG, so that's cool. So we want to select the whole thing. File, export, OGG. And we'll call it... this will be backgrounds. And this will be Jupiter. Cool. Yeah, we should get a few more of those. Okay, let's do one more of those because that's pretty awesome. It's a different tone and quality. It's pretty cool. Let's go for this one here. let's go from there to there. So cool. Right, so that to there to there. Copy that. New file. Paste it in. Go to the end. Paste it in again. Oh, okay. Copy it. Go to the end. Paste it again. Background. I mean reverse. Check the break. Perfect. Check the full loop. There's a little bit of a click there, isn't there? Just a teeny bit, but it's so tiny. I don't think anyone's going to notice after. Is that 20 minutes? What? It's a 20-minute file. Okay. Jupiter 2. That's way too big. Way too big. Oh my goodness. Yeah. A little bit OTT there. Here we go. So what else do we need? We've got a background audio. We need the sound of heels, right? We need specifically footsteps on metal. This is Myra's footsteps, right? So, so I say heels because I think that might be a better. So free sound. To our favorite free sound effects site. Log in. That's showing you my login. And heels on metal. Let's see if we have something for that. No chance. Okay, what about just heels? Let's have a look. This doesn't have to be footsteps on metal, does it? I mean, she's a scientist. She doesn't need to be wearing heels. That's what am I saying? I just thought maybe that's really sexist. I'm just thinking, you know, it's a big day. She's dressed up for the occasion. Ground set.
Heels on carpet.
Heels on carpet. No, we don't want that. All right, how about just footsteps on metal? Okay, let's just go for footsteps. Concrete. Muddy, petals, dry leaves, indoor. Pavement, footsteps on metal. That's pretty cool. I think we want to do that, our own sort of sound effects, so we can have it coming from a distance and bring it in. Wow. Myra, it's not the Myra we're looking for. Snow, glass. No. Walking in a hut. Sometimes you just got to hear these, right? Nice. Is that the same one? Yeah. Boots on metal.
Metal footsteps that are quiet.
I mean, whoever's walking there sounds like they've got like a broken leg or something. That's not a normal walk, is it? Taking their sweet time. jeez, no, that's bad. Oh my god, that's a big old metal footstep. Maybe I should just take a normal footstep. That's someone playing a drum. I could just get a normal footstep and add some metal reverb, right? Which is a little bit like that. That could be made to work. I'm going to download that one, because if we fade that in, maybe that would do the job. Creative Commons license. Let's add that to our attribute folder. Jumping over a metal fence, metal footsteps. Whoa, okay, no. Yeah, that's very hop along. It's pretty good. Just a little bit harsh though, isn't it? I prefer some sort of petite footsteps like that. It's just, it doesn't sound like she's going to take the bridge out, or go through the floor or something. I mean, that's just way overkill. Again, doesn't sound like actually, made on a metal heater. A clip of some shoes. It just doesn't work, does it? Steps on metal. Ooh. It's the best one so far. Hard heeled shoes on hollow metal. Except it's got crickets in the background. Damn you crickets. So much background noise. We need to start doing Foley live on stream, I think. I've got a pair of shoes. I could find a pair of heels. Running, that's nice, but it's running. We need to run. You need that last step as well. So it's just step, 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 step. And it's as if it was meant to be. That's got to be the one. Right. And I'll attribute that. That's getting downloaded. Now, what I love about Audacity is we can play with this at the same time as we can just put it as a second layer, so we can actually play it alongside this. So let's hook this up. Put over there. Audacity full screen. And metal stairs. Yep. Okay. Super. Right. Very weak at the moment. I'm going to change that. Now we could have it pan from left to right, and then we get the voices on the right. Or we could do some really cool stereo stuff. But what I'd really like to do is allow the game engine to decide like where things are positioned. I don't want to take it too much out of the hands of our audio expert, whoever that might be. I think I can hear bird tweeting on that one. Yep. All right, so I'm going to insert some empty sound here. I'm going to use that to kind of allow for a bit more maybe we should put the audio in. What I was thinking about the other day is I was watching a video about audio effects, and what I thought would be great is for each location we could set the reverb, we could set the an idea of how big the space is, and then any sound effects or narration that's played in that location will share those same audio qualities. So rather than doing anything here, we just do that in the location itself. Might be too much, but maybe it's worth a shot. It's a little bit much, but so I'm going to fade this in. That last step's like it's too much, but it's okay. Right, take it. We'll take it. Paste that in. I don't think it's stereo. Okay, it is stereo. Those birds are bad, so we need to remove the quiet bits in between the steps. So we've got to use some compression. Is it? No, normalization. Ooh, no. Let's go for compression. Oh no, wait a minute. We've got to remove. We're going to remove the. Yeah, how do we do this? I'll just Google it real quick. See what Google says. Move quiet bits from audio Audacity. Right. Highlight the whole. You did truncate silence. Use the threshold. Okay. So analyze fact. Truncate silence. That makes no difference. Let's try that. We need to oops. I think that's it. I don't think silence remove is what I'm looking for here. It's probably not a great clip to use, but yeah, I don't want to spend ages on this, so we'll use it as is. Sounds like people playing in a park as well. Perfect when you're on your own up in Europa. See, really what I don't want to do is like silence that bit. Fact, volume, change speed, change volume, change volume. Edit. I'm not very used to using this. I used to use Sony SoundForge back in the day. I think I've actually got it. SoundForge, yeah, I do. I've got the latest version of SoundForge, so I don't know why I'm using Audacity. I haven't used this yet. I got a license a year ago, I think. Oh, crashing? No, it's just loading. So yeah, I've not tried this for a while. Might be pretty good. Seems very slow. Maybe it's just 'cause it's the first time I've ever loaded it. It's loading all the effects up. Anyway, this is in my process now, so right, let's export our footsteps. Now this is going to be an effects. I'm going to call it footsteps fade in. Footsteps metal fade in. Actually, you know what? This could be a transition. Yeah. Right. So we'll actually use footsteps indoors metal. Does it sound like heels? I think it probably does. I don't know if we should ever use it, but all right. So I think we've got everything we need, right? Let's get on with this. I'll make sure everything's working. Yeah. Our cutscene is here. Chapter 1, a goodbye. The transition out is working. Yay. Get into the lift. So now what we should be able to do is say, you know what, I want to change our transition from the lift. So if we leave the lift, for example, so elevator. So we're in the elevator in the living area. We exit the elevator in the living area. We can change our footsteps. We haven't mapped anything to it yet. We've actually, every time we introduce a new transition, we have to go into our scripts. We need to go to audio controller. Nope. Game scripts. Where is it? Blimey. Obviously didn't give it a good name, did I? Location, global, no, exit. Of course, it's a bloody exit audio transition. Right, so these are the different options we have, and they're based on the sound. So we've just added another one here, and it is audio transitions, footsteps, indoors. I call it dash metal. I think we should be underscore metal. Right, so footsteps, indoors, underscore metal, right? Right, there we go. So now we should be able to change that on any of our transitions. So we go back to our switch to the scene tree. Here we go. Right, so hopefully you can see that a bit better. So we're looking at our exit living area. You know, no point in changing the scene tree because our inspector's over here. Where are we? Here. Right, so over here we have footsteps indoors. Now we have footsteps indoors metal. So let's play that. See how daft it sounds. Now obviously this isn't the same character, so it's a different character, so we shouldn't be using this noise, but we're just testing it. So we enter the lift, and then we go back into the living area. And you can definitely hear that, the sound of kids playing outside. Anyway, cool, that works. So I'll switch that back. So our cutscene system now needs methods for audio. So I'm going to start breaking these up a bit. So, hash start and end scenes. So these are our kind of blocks of different types of, I'll call this image control. So this is fade in the image, fade out the image. And we've got color control. Use the American spelling, so I guess Godot uses it. Then we've got titles control. that's the big intros. And then down here we have all our animation signal events. Okay, so what are we adding then? We're adding a new section for audio control. So we'll bring it up here. Let's have a think about what we want. We want to be able to play an effect, right, with a sound and a loop. What else do we want? We want to stop the effects, sound, loop. What's wrong with that, by the way? Expected colon at the end. Oh, it's just because I haven't finished typing. I'm not giving the parser enough time to check the code. So we want to be able to play an effects and stop an effects. We want to be able to play narration. So that's going to be interesting. So we've got a sound, we've got a character or name, and then the text that's represented by that sound, right? I think. So I did something like that in the last game, and we're going to go in there and have a look, see if we can grab that. I don't think there's any need to stop narration, but actually, you know what? There will be. Because if we skip, we're going to want to stop the narration. I'm going to put a little note there, fade it out. If playing. And it should say the same thing, really. Because in our end cutscene, we obviously don't want to don't want to suddenly cut everything dead. We want to have it fade out gracefully. So stop effects, expect sound and loop. Just have oh, won't need it. And then we're going to have play background sound loop. Want the loop usually to be true, right? Stop background. How do we set a default value going into our array again? Is it like this? Nope. Is it a capital B? Nope. Is it after the value? Nope. I can't remember. We did it elsewhere, didn't we? Or did we just do this? Yeah, I think that might be it. So it's our default value. All right. Okay, so these should all be fairly similar in that, though they're going to be targeting audio controller. So let's go look at, no, actually, will they? I don't know if we want to interfere with our audio controller, right? Because these are completely separate. Then a cutscene should never interfere with a. I don't know. You have to excuse me 2 secs. Doggy wants out. Hang on a second. And we're back. So I was just looking at some of the stuff I did before, right? So similar sort of thing. A lot of this can be used. So the question is, do we use the existing audio controller or not? I think we do, I think what we want is we're going to set up some new streams, right? So we're going to set up cutscene background audio, right? And what's the difference? It means it won't interfere with our location audio. So if we pause the game, that'll come in back. Okay, we'll have to give that a bus. So we'll just have to create a new bus, right? Call this cutscene background. All right, super. And then we just pick the bus we're passing this to, and we're done. Yeah, it'd be great. So if we add an effect here, we put in like a reverb effect, and then we adjusted that based on just a teeny bit, based on the location the user's in. So it'd be mainly like dry, but you have a little bit of the. Oh yeah, there you go. So yeah, it'd be something like this. The touch coming through on the narration. Let's just have a quick try on that. I just want to see how it sounds. Distractions. Narration, true. I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I left the heating on. So there needs to be a distinct difference, right, between the narrator and the player. The player is always going to be a lot. Yeah, it's not the narrator that would have the audio in, it would be the player, right? Yeah, so let's turn that off. That said, the player doesn't say anything at the moment, right? It's always like, he's always just thinking.
When I was a kid, I wanted to visit Earth, but after the death of my father, I wasn't interested in going home. Home was Europa. My path was to continue my parents' journey in the field of science. It's a picture of my mom. She was 8 months pregnant with me.
Hello, America. I'm Mark Levin.
Nah, there's nothing good on it.
I don't know if this is actually getting reloaded here. Sounds like you have to save it every time you want to make a change.
Nah, I've already read every article. I've even done a crossword.
If I stop it and play again.
I woke up. My mouth was dry.
Yeah.
I think I left the heating on.
That's much more subtle, right?
When I was a kid, I wanted to visit Earth, but after the death of my father, I wasn't interested in going home.
I think it could work well. So what we'd need is, in our location object, and I'm going to do this just as I'll come back to it at some point. We're going to export something related to the size of the room, right? So if we go to our audio section, we go to reverb. So the name of it is a room size, room_size. So we want each location to have its own room size. So export var room size equals 0. And that means we can adjust the size of the room as you enter it. We can even lerp it so the sound changes. And actually it makes sense to put the player, even the sound effects, like everything is associated with the room, right? Wonder if we can create another bus. Bring that. Let's change the screen size a bit. We'll call this bus Spatializer. Move this bus over here. Right. Get rid of the delay here. Get rid of the reverb here. And then this will have the reverb. back into the reverb effects, drop this right down. Don't need as much. Less dampening, less wet. Let's keep it really subtle. And then what happens is location audio, that's background noise, goes into the spatializer. Narration doesn't. Player does. And sound effects does. Right. So Spatializer becomes the place where we adjust the room size. Let's just see what the impact on our game is.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I entered the elevator.
I think I did that too quick today. Yeah, it's very subtle at the moment. Okay, so can I say that that has a range? Godot, export, variable, float range. Do. Ah, cool. Ah. Okay. There we go. That's what we need. So let's just see what the values are for reverb. So room size can be 0 to 1. So 0 to 1, and in steps is 0.1. So now when we look at a location in our tree, so let's go to our scene tree. We can look at our location now, living area, and now we can set the room size, right? Oh, it's so nice, it's so nice. So there's a small room size. Oh, maybe it's a slightly bigger. I think, yeah, okay, so lift is obviously going to be tiny. So 0 and 0. R&D, let's say R&D is huge. And balcony is a bit echoey as well. Cool, all right. And now let's set that based on the location that you're in. So, so that'll be our player, change location. Use exit. So this changes the location right now. And that links to the audio. So wouldn't it be nice to just have some sort of fade in here? I'm not sure how to do it without. I think we need the tween object, right? Oh, we have to put it in the process. So don't want to make this too complicated. I'm just going to do it as is at the moment. We can tween it later. So our target location becomes our new location. Wait till we've got the audio controller And then we're going to set the reverb. Now, how do we set the reverb? How do we get a link to the spatializer? That is a good question. Let's see. Just reverb Godot. GD script. Audio streams, audio buses. Effects, amplify, didn't I do some of this with the spatializer? I think I did. Let's look at our spectral analyzer. How do we do this again? Ah, there it is. Okay, so in our audio controller, on ready, we're going to get, so we'll set a var here called room size. And then room size equals, now, audio server. What is that? What is audio server? How do I know which instance is what? So that would be the spectrum analyzer. Get audio bus by name. Oh, okay. So I think it's just this is 1, and then it's effect 0, right? Pretty sure that's it. So now audio controller has access to setting room size, right? So back in our player script, we can now say, so we've got a link to audio controller. We've got a property called room size. And we just need to set that to our target locations export value, right? So target location dot room size. That's it. Come on. Yeah. Right. So now what we should see is this reverb effect adjusting as we move from location to location.
My mouth was dry. I think I left the heating on.
Let's see if it works. We're into the lift.
I entered the elevator.
We know it's 0 there. We're going to go into R&D. Should change to 3, I think, 0.3.
Stepping into the R&D department.
Nope.
I could see Brian using the photocopier, and Sue was pouring herself a cup of coffee. Smelt of lunch.
How do I know? I mean, actually, I don't know. So I'm going to print changed room size to comma. So let's just see. Maybe it's not even spitting it out, right?
I woke up. My mouth was dry.
Yeah, so that's 0.1.
I left the heating on.
Into the lift.
I entered the elevator.
And then R&D. And exit.
Stepping into the R&D department, I could see Brian using the photocopier, and Sue was...
I mean, it certainly didn't sound like those footsteps were 0.4, right? So Let's try a ridiculous value, shall we? In fact, let's pass in the narration, because that would be a much better test.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I had left the heating on.
Okay, so that's the room. And the
I
lift.
entered the elevator.
And R&D.
Stepping into the R&D department, I could see Brian was using the photocopier, and Sue was pouring herself a cup of coffee.
Right, okay, so if let's whack up the reverb for R&D to as high as it gets. 1. Okay, press play.
I woke up. I entered the elevator. Stepping into the R&D department, I could see Brian.
Doesn't sound like it, does it? Doesn't sound like the it's changed at all. Maybe I'm not hooking into the right value at all, right? I mean, we're not seeing this change. So probably my understanding of back into the audio control, this audio server get bus effect is wrong. Oh, it's control left click. I'm sure that wasn't working for me before. Bus index, effect index. Pretty sure that's right. Why don't we just, rather than setting it, why don't we just print it out? Oh, but it's only set once. We don't actually change it, right? Have we? I'm not sure we're setting a pointer here. We're just initializing this variable. Godot create pointer. I mean, it's more like a C++ thing, right? Maybe we can do it. Yeah, how do I Godot variable by reference? Pass reference. Really? Is that it? Oh, no. Ref. All right. Is that right? I use ref. No, is that the C++ stuff? Okay. Well, then the better way to do this then would be let's have a quick look at the spectral analyzer. So that's just passing back a value, right? I'm not changing it. Looking at the set. Just look at this. Audio serves a low-level server interface for audio access. In charge of creating sample data as well as playback via voice interface. Ah, okay. I think I know what I'm doing wrong here. Right, I've created a pointer to. I think that might have worked. That might work. So I should be able to just do this, right? Right, get rid of that. So I've got room size, but now, you know what? I'll call this spatializer. Can't spell it. Spatializer. Okay, so now I've got access to the spatializer object. I hope. So I'll just print spatializer here. See what comes out. Of course, that's not going to work now. But did I get my output? Yeah, audio effect reverb instance. All right, now, if I print out spatializer dot room size, it's a property of that object, right? Now I should get whatever it's set at. Nothing. Okay. It actually crashed there. Audio effect reverb instance. Room underscore size. Room underscore size. So it doesn't like it. Have a look at our debugger. Spatializer object ID. Nada. When we're messing with the spectral analyzer, you save spectrum on the onReady, and maybe the reverb has specific options, specific methods. Audio reverb effect just has room size, right? So we go back into into audio. I'll just comment that out for now, so don't crash. So back into audio controller. So when we print our spatializer, is it of type audio effect reverb?
I woke up.
Audio
My
effect
mouth was
reverb
dry.
instance.
I left the heating on.
Okay. Is it that we can't adjust it from there then? Seems a bit weird that we can't set the room size for it. Someone's bound to have done this. Adjust reverb room size Godot. Set room size. Really? Why didn't I see this earlier? What? Oh. Ah. For God's sake. There it is. You can see this. I've got to read this document. I'm scanning too quickly. Right. Super. So get room size. Right. That should give us 0. Whatever it is. No. Get underscore room underscore size. Get underscore size. What if we just do this? Would it be that? It still thinks it's an audio effect reverb. Can I find it in
I woke up.
the
My
node
mouth was
tree
dry.
here?
I think I left the heating on.
Doesn't seem like you can access the audio controller from here. Yeah, that's a nice little, once again, a nice little problem I've managed to set up for myself, which I'm not here to do. I'm here to do the blooming cutscenes. So, right, back to audio, to-do list. Let's find our locations. So, set room size on. Set room size for spatializer audio on entering. And also transition room size value. Yeah. Okay, cool. So put a note. We'll get back to that. It's been an hour and 20. I want to get these cutscene sounds working. So what else did we set up in our? Let's close everything else. Audio controller. So cutscene. Here we go. Right. So cutscene sits alongside everything. So its sibling will be this audio controller. So we can get a reference to it on ready, because we're probably going to want it. On ready, remind me of that syntax again, please. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's even better. So on ready, audio controller equals audio, capital A, controller. Right. So current scene is game. So that should allow us to grab it. All right. So now we can start messing around with the audio controller in here. So if we want to play an effects, now we've probably already got some good functions, right, for playing things like a sound effects. What happens though if there's a sound effect playing before our cutscene kicks in? I don't think I care about that. I think if we wanted to, then we'd have a cutscene effects player. So I'm all right with that. So has your audio controller got any sort of sound effect playing functions? Play effects. So it does, and it's already got the location, right? So and we never loop. So okay, we won't loop. Expected end of statement. Oops. There we go. Super. Right. Easy as that. Okay, so stop effects. We don't have a stop effects yet, do we? In our audio controller. Probably should. Set one up. Okay, we can't fade out at the moment, can we? Not until we... Oh, we've got tweeners, right? We have got tweeners. So we could. Using it. We are indeed. Oh, wait a minute, what's that? Oh, that's narration. We're doing things in many ways here. We seem to be reinventing the wheel for cutscenes. Maybe that's not a great idea. I start to think it's a bit daft, but there's something nice about having a cutscene. So reusing the code's awesome. See this Q narration, for example. You know, it's all usable. Now I've got to have what, a Q cutscene narration? I guess so. Anyway, okay, so stopping an effect. So we know at the moment an effect is playing from sound effects. So we're going to do this, easy as this, if fade out equals false, then we're going to stop. Don't forget your colon at the end of your if, right? But if else, oops, man, so used to using different languages. Else, colon, we need to tween it out, right? So how do we tween out? Probably going to need to use one of these. Where am I using tween out then? Tween underscore out. There we go. That's using fade out. So in our case, to fade out our effect, we need to hook to sound effects, and we should just do this anyway, right? And we've got to set up a, something to stop it when it finishes. Or do we? Do we care? So that's 1 second. And this is 3 seconds. Fade out duration. Say equals 3. Kill that. So yeah, so this will just go back to normal, right? And then we can have a duration for fading out as defaults at 3. So now we can put that here. And audio transition type, I think we set that right at the top, right? 1, sine, yep. Cool. All right. I don't think we need to stop it. Presumably, if we start something, we'd... I don't know. We'll see. If it creates a weird issue, we'll address it. So stop effects and play effects. So now we want to go to the cutscene controller. And so we says fade out if playing. So I think we're just going to just pass the same stuff in. Let the player decide. So it's audio controller. No colon. Yes. Right. Super. Now, that's an effect. We've actually got a transition rather than an effect, haven't we? So I'm just going to duplicate our audio effect and then we'll just give it a quick try. So transitions, indoors metal. Copy that. We'll call it footsteps. Move that here. Super. Rename that. Copy the file name. And then we're going to play FX in our cutscene. So let's load up our cutscene so far. So we fade into white. And fade in the title. And then cutscene dot play underscore FX, is it? That's not my, it should be just play FX, right? Better just adjust those. It's annoying, isn't it? All right. Have to fix this one up here. Stop narration, where's that? Super. Then that's correct now. That's wrong. We haven't got an end cutscene at the moment. But we have on click, right? Where's our click? It's in our cutscene system. Where did I do the check for the click? Can't remember. Is it in player? I'll just check to see if I can find that. So search in files and cutscene. There it is. Yeah, okay. So it's that one there. All right. So now I should have footsteps playing when we start. I think I've forgotten something, but let's try it.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I had left the heating on.
Well, we got a click. That's all we got. Footsteps indo. We didn't get an error. Or did we? What's that? Audio controller line 7. That's because it should be like that, right? If it was going to work.
I woke up. My mouth was dry.
Again, nice crisp click. We have tried this before, yeah. I was going to say, have we ever tried to do this effect before? But I know that we have. Let's have a look at our audio file. Footsteps, indoors, import, no loop. Let's check our audio controller for playing an effect. Oh, I know what it is. We're pausing the audio controller. Oh, right. So we do need a cutscene audio player, which means we can't use any of these. Okay, I know what we can do. So we shouldn't pause the audio controller then. So in our script here, our pause is going to process, right? So now the background audio won't disappear.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I had left the heating on.
Excellent. So you can still hear the background audio, right? Now, what we need when we start the cutscene then is to store whatever the volume is, fade it out, transition into our cutscene audio. So cutscene's got a link to audio controller. So our audio controller is going to have a function for func pause audio. And then we can just control all that from here, right? So we're going to save the volume levels. So we'll have var location 1 audio dB. And audio place. You know when you play back from a given location? No, audio playback. Audio paused at, let's call it that. Right? So those are the two values we want to do. Because what's going to happen is we're going to fade it out and pause it. Yeah, and then we're going to play it back. And there's one more. No, I think that's it, right? I think that's it. Yeah, okay. So we'll take those. So when we pause the audio, wait, are we doing this in the cutscene? Yeah. No, we're not. Where did I do it? There it is. Okay. Get rid of our vars. So let's just do a little bit of pseudocode here. Nice and simple. 1, save the current dB levels. Then 2, fade out to 0. And 3, store the paused at. Stop the audio and store the paused at time. Right? And then we're going to need another one for func continue audio. Let's call it game audio. So we're going to save the current decibel levels. All right. So that's these. So how do we get that? Well, that will be, because it's changeable based on the location you're at, we're going to have to get a hook to it's going to be location background audio 1 and 2, right? So dollar location background audio dot dB volume dB. There it is. Super easy peasy. So we store those. Audio 2. Right. Now we fade out to 0. So we've got to tween that audio. So we can use our fade outs, right? Actually, wow, we actually do store the pause out, don't we? I think we're already doing this. Or maybe we didn't need to. Okay, so we fade in, tween start, fade out, stream player. Oh, so we just fade out any of them, right? So that should do the job. We just say which one. Okay, super. So back to our pause. So fade out to 0 is simply that and that, right? Now that's assuming they're playing. So we only want to do that if they're playing, right? So if dollar, we've done this before, playing, there we go, is playing is the function we use. So if location background audio is playing, colon, fade it out. Super. And same with this one. Doing both, just in case both of them are playing. Unlikely, but you never know. Okay, so the fade out obviously isn't going to pause it at that point, is it? Do we have any sort of hook to our... let's just have a look at our fade out functions. So we use tween out. Tween out has got a signal. Tween completed. Untween out complete. So let's go to untween out complete. Where is it? On tween out. There it is. Get previous location. Always restart background audio because it's false. Yeah. So look, we are getting the. We should be using these. Right, we don't need to. So I've been standing for like an hour and 40 minutes. I'm gonna stand and kneel on my chair. Yeah, I should be using these because actually no, these are storing the previous location objects, whereas actually we want to store the current location. So we don't want this to trigger. So that's not great. If it means we don't want to use this, we don't want to use this fade out, or it's going to mess stuff up. So we need another tween out just for our cutscene. So we'll call it tween. Rename. We'll call it tween out pause. And I don't think we need a tween in for it, do we? So now we've just got to create a signal and a different tween out completed, right? So we're going to have a fade out. Game. Yeah. Okay, so this one is slightly different. So we're actually going to use it for locational-based audio only. And how do we pass that information to our completed function? That's the question. Should it matter? Pass in a stream player. Actually, maybe we should be thinking that only one of these audios is going to ever fade out, so we shouldn't be trying to do it to both. Because then how do we know which one we need to start playing again? Okay, you know what we actually need? We just need to go like this. Location audio DB. Location audio paused at. Okay, and then which location audio is playing. So location player, we'll call it. Those three values is what we need. So if this one's playing, location background audio is playing, then it's this one that we want to save. Yeah. Oops. Nope. This one. The background audio is going to be this one. And pause that. We don't know yet. We'll come back to that. We're going to do that here. Cool. All right. So we can get rid of that. So if it's playing, record the current volume. Get a link to the one that's playing, and then fade it out. If the other one's playing, we're going to do exactly the same thing. Except it's going to be audio 2. Right? Cool. And it's not fade out. It's fade out, game, location. Super duper. Now we won't store this here. We'll do that in our signal. So a tween out pause needs a signal for tween completed. Done. Let's move this up near the other one. Find it. Getting a bit messy in here. So this one is used for tweening out location audio when transitioning. It can save the current state. And this one is used for tweening out location audio when pausing. Right, super. So here, we're going to do this similar sort of thing, right? So we're getting the current location object, which is object, right? No, that's the yeah, it should be object. Hopefully this will work. Oh no, wait, we're saving in the playback position, so it's just whatever we set it to up here. So that's line 133. So there. There we go. So we're saving the location at which we completed fading the audio out. Super duper. I like to put all these tweens. Maybe these tweens are in. Yeah, okay, so actually, and they're stopping it here as well. So we better do the same thing, right? Give it that. All right, so we'll move this to our relevant fade out game location. Yeah, so this is the tween for this one here. So I'll move all this, put these ones together. Cool. So we're fading out the game location. Will it work? Don't know. Try it in a sec. We save the location of where it was in the playback. Then we stop it. And of course now we need a fade in game location, which is going to be a lot like this one here. But then we've got to start it at the correct position, right? I mean, do we even need to do that? Maybe if we just hit object.play, it's going to start at the right place. We'll be able to test this with the television. We can turn on the TV, play our cutscene, and then we should be able to see what happens. So let's have a look at our cutscene again. Oops, where is it? Game script. Okay. So now, when our cutscene starts, pause the whole tree, but now we're no longer pausing the audio. So now we've got to pause our audio. So what do we call our function? Jeez, it's an audio controller. Target audio transition, fade out game location. Were you going to use that? Yeah. So fade out game location. Wait a minute. No, where do we get a link to the tree? It's here. Nope. Pause game audio. Right, there we go. All right, so our gain script is going to need to do this, right? Has this got a link to the audio controller? Yeah. Cool. So, you know what? No, we shouldn't do that there. We should do it in the cutscene. Start cutscene, right? Start cutscene should control all of this, right? Oh man, I've got to start being more. That should be an underscore. To be more consistent with my variable naming. All right. Super. Okay. Right. Let's just see if that works. I don't know if it will yet.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I left the heating on.
We're looking for it to fade out that in the background. Boom. And the footsteps come in. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. So now our cutscene. Oh, okay. Will it? So now we've got to have it continue when the cutscene ends, right? So pause Pause game audio. It's an audio controller. We want continue game audio, right? So in our cutscene, when we end the cutscene, we wait for the transition to finish. Do we wait for the transition to finish? No, we'll just do it straight away. Right, continue the game audio. Right, so, and that's part of audio controller. Sweet. Okay. I mean, maybe I should just make these all audio controller functions. I'm just trying to create these super. I mean, are there any use creating these audio control things in here? Probably not. I should just make them all part of the same thing. It's just that these in the cutscene they're gonna have a slightly different way of working, right? So. Let's carry on like this for now. We can always come back and change it. I think I probably will change that. Okay, so to continue the game audio, we want to fade the location back in. So we know which location player we want to start playing. So it's this one, location player, whatever we stored. And we need to fade it in. So I don't think there's anything more to it than using fade in. We preserved the volume as well, so we know what the volume is going to be. So so it's fade in, location player to, that's line 211. So location audio dB. So go back to Control G. No, is it Control G to change line? No. What is it in Godot? I don't know what the shortcut is. It is in Visual Code 211. There we go. Right. So now fades in original last scenes audio, background audio, and volume. Cool. Now, if we want, now we can add other things, other areas of audio to be paused. And our cutscene just has to say, pause the game audio, and it knows what to do. So
I woke up. My mouth was dry.
So our Starship Enterprise background noise. And now we should have it fade back in. Dang. Didn't work. We've got an error in our debugger. Invalid object provided to tween. So didn't like our stream player for fade in. So it looks like we're not saving this location player correctly. Are we resetting it? We're making it local, right?
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I had left the heating on.
Nope. Still doesn't work. We'll try it one more time because it was a little bit premature there, right?
My mouth was dry. I think I had left the heating on.
Okay, I didn't see any error there. Initial type value float does not match value type nil. So what do you think is not getting passed in there? Not sure which value that is. So probably going to be volume, right? So I print the volume. Start again.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I had left the heating on.
And now I should print out. No. Okay, yeah. So whatever volume we're saving is not getting saved properly. So that is location audio DB. Same problem. Egypt. All right, problem solved. Get rid of our print. Where did I just put it? There. All right, we should be good to go.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I had left the heating on.
Got to turn off the narration again as well. So now we should get the Starship Enterprise coming back. Nope, but no errors. We're not hitting play. That's why. So, audio transition. Continue. There it is. Yeah. Let's play it first before we start fading it in. All right. There we go.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I had left the heating on.
Nope. We have to stop the cutscene audio as well, right? So if you end the scene, we need to stop any effects that are playing. So is it stop effects? And end cutscene. Oh, we have got stop effects. Interesting. Well, that didn't work very well, did it? We'll have to look into that. Wow, it's almost 11 o'clock. Okay, we've got to just fix this problem and then we're going to call it a day. So we've got really far. I just can't wait to get... I keep saying every day we'll get that text in at the bottom. We'll see it working, and that doesn't happen. Hello to whoever's watching. 2 people watching at the moment. Thanks for joining me. If one of them's Laurie, then get yourself in Discord and I'll talk to you after this. Right. Background audio transition. So basically, that play command ain't working. That isn't happening. Continue game audio. Definitely running it, aren't we? No, wait. We do that in cutscene, right? No. We're not even calling it yet. Yeah, we are pausing. We are continuing it. Okay. Have we got another var somewhere that I shouldn't? Let's do some printouts here. So okay. See what comes in.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I had left the heating on.
So we should get this spit out here. Audio stream player 1454. Now that's a bit weird because that means continue game audio is getting called 4 times, right? Anyone know why that might be? Our game script. My cutscene should only call it once, but then end cutscene can get called multiple times. You know what? I think it might be. Yeah, look, is action pressed? That's what it is. Okay. So it's basically running over and over again while I'm holding that mouse button down. It just needs to be once. So all I need to do is that actually. Right? That way, next time it goes in the loop, it can't do it. So if action pressed, yeah, I'll just do it on, because that will it'll still allow it to happen, right? So I need it on is action. Let's look at my options here. Is action pressed? Is action just released? Yep. Right, so now we should only see that once, right? I wonder if that played an effect, played an impact on
I left the heating on.
And it working. Yay! That is the problem. Now, if I press it loads of times, right? Yeah, look at that. Can't get back in the cutscene now. Stuck. In fact, as soon as you press it, I don't know if I can actually have that there, right? I need to do that.
I woke up. My mouth was dry. I think I left the heating on.
And actually, if the audio hasn't finished fading in yet, then the volume's wrong. So it should actually be whatever the volume is for the current location. Not, I shouldn't be saving it. Eat it. So I can go back in here now, though, right? And out. And in. And in. And out. That's still got a weird issue with the text. Okay. Of course, there was no volume, obviously.
I entered the elevator.
Right, okay, so in our global, we're going to set play narrative to false, so I don't have to listen to myself entering the elevator again. And when we set the volume, we don't set it to the location audio DB. In fact, we don't even need to save it anymore. Do we? No, don't think we do. We don't need either of those. All we need is the player's current location volume. So what's that going to be? So that's line 209. There's player. And DB. Volume. I mean, it's got to be here on this somewhere, right? There it is. Player current location, background audio volume. Super duper. Okay, so 211 is right here. There we go. So that'll put it back to the original volume for that location. Identifier location audio paused at isn't declared. That's because I got rid of it. Where is it? Paused at. So I just don't think we need that full stop. Weird though, it doesn't allow the tween out there. Not sure why that is, but anyway, so it should fade back in now. Super. So if I let it fade in, it should fade out. That's what we want. Once we set in controls to stop, because what we want to do is stop people from interacting with the buttons until things have finished fading in. Maybe we'll increase the fade-in speed a little bit. We've actually got a transition 3 seconds, so let me go for a 1 second. Much quicker. Right, enter the lift. Yeah. Right, actually, so I want to try the button out here. So I'm going to move our AI Now, let's go to our scene tree. So if you remember, our characters can have a current location. So I always switch to the scene tree just when we don't need it, just to click something on the scene tree. So our current location is living area. So we're going to put our AI in the elevator, but only on one floor. Right. That's an interesting thing. That means characters, if you move up and down with the character in the lift, we'll have to move the character with the player. So you're actually making the character move, because the character can only have one location. But we've made elevators have multiple locations because they've got different exits. Should have created a new lift object. Anyway, right, so we enter the lift. Here's our AI. So we want to see if the music continues from where it left off. I'm going to wait for the solo to start. And now we're going to hit the cutscene. Clip clop. And now it should come in and we should get the flute. Nope, it's starting from the beginning again, isn't it? So it doesn't. So we do need that location stuff that we did before. 3 seconds. Location audio pause that. So we do need this. So how do we start from that location again? How do we play from that location? Let's have a look at the play property for audio stream. Player. Play. From position. So in the play command. So I bet you we do that already, right? Must do that somewhere. Play. There it is. So when we fade in the audio, we're playing from the current position. So we want to do the same thing when we start playing it again. So in our continue, rather than hitting play here, we are going to do whatever that function was called again. This one. You're having to search for stuff. I'm really losing my way around the code base here. I need to have a little tidy up. Right? Should be it. So actually, let's move our AI back into the living area. This time we'll do it with the TV. So we turn on the TV.
Hello, America.
Hi, this is
I'm
Mark.
Levin. This is Life,
Levin.
Liberty, and Levin.
Okay, pause it. Footsteps come in. Skip it. And it crashes. Nice. What's happened there? Audio stream player. Location audio pause that. Okay, so at the moment, it's not got a value. Seeing as we're doing such a quick transition, and this clearly isn't working for us, it must work. Don't understand why that's not working there. Works there. Look at that. Oh no, it's fine. Let's just spit it out. Print. Finished. Fade out. And then and spit that out. See if we actually have a value. Nope. So, for whatever reason, that never got called. Why would that be? Am I using the wrong tweener? Probably. Oh, yeah, I would be using the wrong tweener, aren't I? Ah, right. So fade out. Right. So that's the fade out. We're using tween underscore out, but the wrong one. Oh. So back into our audio controller object, we can see it's called tween out pause. And did we set it up here? Nope. Let's set it up. So that's that. And this is tween out pause. There we go. So now we can go down to our fade out function. And tween. So there we go. Super. All right, let's try that. So first of all, let's just make sure it's printing something. Yep. Super duper. Turn on the TV.
Hello, America. I'm Mark Levin. This is Life.
This is live.
Levin. Welcome.
Yep.
Nice to see
Super.
you.
Now we could have it keep playing, right? Actually, then it would be real time, but we don't want that because you're watching a cutscene. You want to go back to that point in your life, so it wouldn't make any sense. Right, fabulous. So I think we are rocking and rolling. So what have we achieved? We have created quite a few things here. This file, the audio controller is starting to get a little bit out of control. We've got play location transition, background audio transition, fade in, fade out, tween in, tween out, fade out game location, change audio background, pause game audio, continue game audio, and cue narration. So I'm going to move this pausing stuff up with this fade out stuff. And I'm going to move, I'm going to move all of this right down to the bottom. It's all new stuff. That's why I'm getting confused. Okay, so pauses audio for a cutscene. And then continues audio after a cutscene. So what was our bug? We had one bug there. That bug was the it was a high heels. The sound effects didn't stop it. So if I go in there, listen for the heels. Stop the heels. Oh, it did work. Do it again. Stop the heels. Okay, cool, it's working. Wonder what happens if we just like cue narration at this point. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Audio controller. I just want to do it for kicks. We should definitely save to the log as well. So in our, so this is audio controller. We shouldn't be doing it like this, but we're going to. So we're just gonna. So we're going to need a yield for sound effects. Otherwise, well, now I'm going to play this at exactly the same time, right? So the first bit of text in our tutorial is, it's nearly time, Jove, he's waiting. It's going to play cutscene 1, Myra 1. Oops. Text. So what we haven't got here is, you know what, we're going to use the we can use the dialogue thing, because it's actually it's a dialogue, isn't it? With a choice. It's going to seem so weird though, because it's like sticking it right over the cutscene. We need to make something much more elegant. I think we need to do a little bit of research into how to display this sort of thing. But at the moment, waiting cutscene mode, save to lock true. Let's just see if it plays. Just purely for oops. Q narration. Just want to test it. Audio controller, is it underscore? Yes, it is. See if it works. Should appear down here, which won't work, so we probably won't get it on the screen. No. I just can't wait to see it working, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Replace this with our new cutscene text. I'm going to have a word with Steph and say, you know what, should we really be letting the player decide what they click and what's shown on the screen when it's a cutscene? And then why would you have a click to skip? I like the thought of having it interacting in the cutscene, but then it shouldn't be a cutscene, really, should it? It should be. It's no longer a cutscene. Oh, yeah, it's nice to have like. I think what we're looking at here is a combination of Foley and dialogue. So see, Steph's imagining having this. So if we import this, good morning. So we're imagining having something like this as the cutscene with elements of audio being played. So we would have to have like some sort of audio player option here. Wouldn't it have been cool if this dialogue designer was a bit more extendable? I have a good mind not to use it after all, just to write my own. It's just handy right now, but looking at what we want to try and achieve, it's kind of limiting. I mean, where are we going to put the audio? You know, I think what we're going to have to do at the moment is like put a pipe in here and then say the name of the audio file that gets played. Or we've got to get some sort of reference from this, like just like 1, and it'll know, oh, that's file 1, that's file 2, and so on. Or maybe we don't have audio. Maybe the dialogues are audio free, and it's only the cutscenes where you hear them talk. So many things to work out. So for now, got a lot done. Cleared all our errors. I'm going to do a commit. Whoa, look at all that. Okay. We're not going to import this delete me stuff. You know what? Sod it. We'll commit it. We can always delete it. A lot of stuff. Okay, so more work on cutscenes. Added starting point for a locational room size. That's pretty cool. And added. We could have that working before we commit it. I could just not commit exit, but then we've made those changes in audio controller as well. So, and in player and in location. Just keep those out. Okay. So for the location or audio size, so no, we won't have that then. So we've just added cutscene, background audio control. That includes fade in, fade out, and storing of current position. Be so much neater when we've got given those buttons a bit of control. I wonder if you could fade in a button. God, 20 past 11. And I want to know if you can fade in a button. I'm going to have a quick peek. Buttons, 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 user interface, buttons. Yeah, all our buttons are added with code. But I guess you probably could, right? You could fade in the whole control. Is there a control? There should be a control on this, right? This whole interface container should have a control on it, I believe. No point putting too much detail on this though, because it's all stuff that is going to come later. Yeah, so it looks like that interface container fades everything in. So we could set a fade in on that, thus stopping people from clicking anything until the location's transitioned. So yeah, so you click a location, it would fade out and fade in. Oh, there's so much we can do for that sort of stuff. So we'll come back to that. Okay, cool. Close that. Made a change there. Don't know what I changed. Better discard it. Oh, didn't notice. Brilliant. Well, thanks for joining me. That was mammoth 2.5 hour exercise. My legs are killing me. So not sure if I'll be streaming tomorrow, but if I am, I shall be scheduling something. So keep your eyes open, turn on your notifications, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. Cheers.